Okay, welcome. I think I am live. This is my first time getting onto Facebook Live. Hello, hello. I think we are live. Okay, happy Sunday, guys, and welcome to another session of the Yarra Valley Garden Party Festival. My name is Jessica Nguyen, and today I'm going to be hosting this session, which is all about dress for success. I'm going to be showing you how to style the perfect spring table for a garden party at home. And you are currently in my home. So welcome. This is my dining room where I basically have all of my meals, I have people over, as well as working here throughout the day. This is essentially my office, but then also my dining room space. So thank you so much to the Yarra Valley for having me. I guess I just want to introduce who I am first, which is I am a home cook, a recipe creator, and I essentially share recipes on my Instagram to inspire people to cook more at home for themselves and for the people around them, one Instagram story at a time. So I basically share recipes via Instagram stories that then get saved as highlights. So you can go to my Instagram at Jessica_Nguyen_ to check out those recipes there. But today is not just about recipes and food, though there is a little bit of food. Today I am going to show you how to style the perfect table, from the florals, the linen, the cutlery, the food, and also the wine pairings, which I have some delicious wines with that I received from the Yarra Valley Garden Pack. So let's kick it off. First and foremost, if you've watched Devil Wears Prada and you know Meryl Streep's character Miranda Priestley, you would probably be judging me right now and thinking florals for spring, groundbreaking. But you know what? Nothing speaks to spring as much as flowers, and specifically tulips, which are the perfect florals for spring. And if you don't know of the Tesla Tulip Festival, it is amazing in that it happens this time during the year, and it's an amazing festival where they have fields of tulips that you can come and visit and take beautiful pictures and admire. And it's something that I love to do with my family, and my mum specifically, because she loves flowers. But given this year with all the restrictions, they're obviously not able to open. So we thought it would be a great way to make this an ode to the Tesla Tulip Festival and somewhat bring it to you guys via Facebook Live and through my dining room. So these are some gorgeous tulips that I have received from the Tesla Tulip Farm, and I've styled a couple that are just above on my mantelpiece as well. So tulips, funnily enough, are, you would think that they are Dutch, but they are actually not. They are actually from Turkey and Central Asia, so Persia. So they were originally from there during the very ancient Ottoman Empire, and it wasn't until the 1600s that the Dutch imported these tulips, which is why you now think of Holland when you think of tulips. So I have decided to draw inspiration from this, and I'm going to be essentially creating a table that is inspired by the colours of these tulips. So think pinks, oranges, and beautiful yellows. So tulips. Now, first things first, when it comes to styling a table, the easiest and the fastest way to create impact and really change the look and feel of a table is via a tablecloth. So I love my tablecloths, and I have a big collection. I have all different colors and shades, but essentially with tablecloths, you don't have to spend too much money on them. Yes, some of them can be really expensive, but I have been known to use things like my bed linen, the flat sheet of my bed linen set, as a tablecloth. I've used odd and ends pieces of fabrics. These guys are real tablecloths, or that they are actually formerly tablecloths. And I've chosen these because they have amazing patterns and they just create color instantly. So I think because of the beautiful florals that you see with those pink and orange tones, rather than go with this crazy zebra checkered kind of rainbow check color, I'm going to go with this wave in this beautiful peach and lilac and pink tones. So tablecloth. Essentially, just going to drape this over my table. I've got a glass dining table and I'm setting this up for 4 people. But if you can see now, just by draping this over the table straight away, we instantly have a wash of colour and it already looks really, really fun, right? So the next thing is I might just put those tulips that you saw on the table just to, I mean, they're so pretty, you really need to show them off. So these are going to go on the centre. And then from there, I mean, that's looking already really, really pretty. From there, I am going to start adding in the plates and cutlery into the table. So let me grab my plates. Now, when it comes to plates, if you follow me on Instagram, you will know that I love blue and white plates, but given the color concept for this table, which is spring, I think the blue is going to be a bit too jarring. So I've opted for some really nice pastel pink plates, and also just note that these are actually all mismatched. So don't worry if you don't have a full set of plates or matching, because essentially there are no rules when it comes to styling a table. Just have a bit of fun with it. And in this sense, I've got, you know, one that's marbled, one that's stripy, one that's like a little bit pink. So I think it just adds interest. So I am just going to place these on the table like so. And you'll just start to see, I guess, the table taking shape. So lovely. So that is now the table with florals, a tablecloth and plates. Now let's do cutlery. Oh, actually no, let's not do cutlery. Let's do napkins. So napkins wise, I have the matching napkins to this tablecloth that you see here. So we could potentially just style them so that they match really nicely with each other. But then also just, ooh, had a casualty. But then also I have a whole bunch of these guys which are in peachy, pinky, light pink, dusty tones. Like I said, and similar to the plates, I don't think that you necessarily need to match everything together. You can have a little bit more fun with it. So I think I might even, with this peach napkin, because it's really similar to the peach in the tablecloth, I might just use that instead, because it's going to lift and complement the pink, so it's not too much of a pink table. So let's do 3 and 4 peach napkins. So give me 2 seconds. So napkins wise, I generally like to place them on the right hand side. If you're formally doing a place setting, normally they're in the center or they're on the left hand side, which I always find weird because I think it should be on the right, especially if you're right-handed. But that's my personal preference. So I'm just going to place all these on the right hand side of the plate. And then now you can see it looking really, really lovely now. Now for the cutlery. Let me grab the cutlery. So I just tend to normally place knife and fork down. Obviously, if you're having things like soups or if you're eating Asian food, you'll use chopsticks and spoons, but just going to keep this super simple with a knife and fork. And my biggest gripe, with this whole, with all these tips that I'm telling you now, there are really no rules, but if there was one rule, it is how you place your knife and fork down. And you always place the fork on the left and the knife down on the right with the blade facing inwards. My biggest gripe is when people place the knife the out way, or when they place the fork and the knife in the opposite direction. It really gets me. I don't know what it is, but if I see a table setting that looks like that, it's the only thing that will make me kind of like eye twitch. But otherwise, I think in everything you can just do whatever you really want. So that's absolutely fine if that's what you like. Okay, looking great. Now, at this point, what we can do is we can add details that add a bit more interest to the table, aside from the food and the drinks. So that is definitely, other than florals, things like candles or objects, and even just like fun little trinkets that I guess add a little bit of a conversation starter to the table. So we could potentially, I've got some candles, we could potentially go with a really nice pillar candle that's in a pale yellow. Otherwise, I do have these guys, which are really fun. They are these hand-poured beeswax candles in gorgeous object shapes like shells and like a honeycomb. So we could do that. Otherwise, what I also have is pillar candles that are in votives. So I have these ones up here, which I kind of tend to gravitate to because they're just simple and very easy to use, and also really cheap and affordable. So I guess the thing with candles is you can spend a lot of money on candles, especially hand poured, specially made ones. You can spend a lot of money on scented ones, but at the end of the day, you can also spend $2 for one at Kmart, which is exactly what I've done here. These are both the candle and the votive, or the pillar itself, from Kmart, and I think I spent $10 all up for all four of them. So just to show you guys, that is what they look like, and I almost think that the Kmart candles go really, really well in this situation. So I think I'm going to pull these guys away, and I'm just going to keep it really simple with 2 candles on either side of the flowers, because at the end of the day, we are creating this all around the tulips. It's not about the candles. So I think they need to take a bit of a backseat or supporting role. And I'm just going to place this guy here. And place this one there, which you can't really see, but we'll see soon. Now, wine glasses. So this is a spring garden party table. So I will be serving white wine for this. So I'll get some white wine glasses. And in terms of wines, there's a couple from the Yarra Valley that I think will be perfect with this menu. There's a Riesling that is in this garden party pack that'll pair really nicely with some spicy prawns that I've cooked up. And then you have other things like the Coombe Yarra Valley Sparkling, which would be perfect at the start of a meal on arrival when guests come. Everyone loves a bit of bubbles. So I'm just going to place the white wine glasses, and you normally place them in the top right corner of your table, or top right corner of the plate that you're sitting down at. And then alternatively, if you've got water glasses that you also want to place on the table, you can place them to the left hand side of the wine glass. But I'm just going to do wine glass because I really want to keep this quite clean and simple, but looking really good. Okay, now let's start putting the food on there and I can talk you through a little bit of the food. So, with the Yarra Valley Garden Pack, which you can buy via the regional pantry online, you essentially get a gorgeous 6-pack of wines, including sparkling, white, and also rosé, all from amazing wineries from the Yarra Valley. But not only do you just get the 6 amazing wines, you also get great recipe cards that pair perfectly with each bottle of wine, and they have been made by the vineyards themselves. So, for example, McForbes, who has a Syrah Rosé in the pack, they have recommended a lamb kofta recipe that I have made. And then there's things like smoked trout and dill fritters. There is coronation chicken sandwiches and also zucchini and pea fritters. So this is a great guide if you're not really sure what to cook for a spring table. And here is something that I have prepared earlier, as many would say. So I have made some spicy prawns. This is so delicious. It is an Asian style dressing. It is spicy with chili, garlic, fish sauce. I've even put my own chili oil. If you know me, you know I love to put chili oil on everything. So this is some gorgeous spicy prawns. I've quickly made the zucchini fritters. They are a little bit burnt because my pan was a bit hot, but these are the zucchini fritters that I'm just going to place down on here. And then lamb kofta that I mentioned from Forbes, I have fritters, we have sauce that goes with it. With the McForbes Syrah Rosé, I've made the lamb koftas that they've recommended. So that is gorgeous Greek, small meatball size. They look like little footballs and they are served with a gorgeous tahini sauce. So I will pop that guy just here. And then I have another. This is I've made a tomato relish as well that goes with the lamb koftas. So if, I guess it's like people, when you eat chips, you can either be a tomato sauce ketchup person or you can be an aioli person. So, ¿por qué no los dos? Why not have both? Do a red sauce and a creamy white sauce. Now, I mentioned the salmon and dill fritters, so this is them. They are really delicious and they smell amazing. There's bits of potato in them, and we have made a tartare sauce that goes with them as well. So if you've noticed, a lot of these dishes are really small, bite-sized. They're great for sharing. So if you are having a real casual barbecue, not even a sit down, where you're just having these in the garden, in the backyard, these are perfect for that. But otherwise, what I like to do is essentially just place these on the table and people can just share and dig in and just pick at whatever they feel. I've also added in, normally I place salt and pepper on the table as well so people can season it themselves if they want any of these. So I will place that just in the back here. And when it comes to creating dishes like this where you are sharing, definitely provide cutlery that are things like big spoons or tongs. You want to be able to give people utensils that they can obviously use to pick up the food and place onto their plate. So this is a spoon that you could use for any of those dishes. The sauces are there. And then let me quickly take you through the wines that I would recommend for this table. actually, this is going to be very difficult. Very, very difficult, but I'm going to quickly talk it through. So, basically with every dish, every wine, it can go with, seriously. Like I said at the start, if you're having people over, the best thing to give them is a gorgeous sparkling wine on arrival. Everyone loves bubbles. It's something you can just open, fill into a glass, and everyone can sip away. So the Coombe Yarra Valley Sparkling is perfect for that. And then things like a Pinot Grigio, this one is from Gusto, is very easy drinking, great for an afternoon or warm day. So I would just have this as an option for people. And then my favourite white wine varietal is Riesling. So Riesling pairs so well with spicy Asian food. So I mentioned the prawns that I'd made. This is a great one, Seville Estate. They Riesling and spicy Asian food, especially anything with a coconut base, just goes really well. Rieslings can tend to be slightly sweet or they can be really dry, and it just contrasts the spiciness in Asian food so well. And here's a fun one just to throw it in, but Suma have made a Savaro, and this is an interesting one. I find it's kind of similar to like a Pinot Grigio, similar in terms of easy to drink, delicious, and also I just love this winery so much. If you've ever been to Suma, they have the most incredible vista that overlooks their whole vineyard when you're having a glass of wine or eating on site there. Hopefully when we're able to visit the Yarra Valley and you haven't been there before, you can check it out, because I highly recommend checking out Suma. Okay, so I would generally just throw the bottle of wine in the middle and let people pour at their own pace. Ideally with white wines, you want to serve them chilled. So place it into your fridge for a couple of hours at least, or if you have an ice bucket, especially for things like sparkling, definitely do that, and keep it in the bucket between pours. But I think that is pretty much the table sorted. We have, in a very short space of time, even though I've done a lot of prep behind the scenes before this, to style a table for 4 with gorgeous tulips from Tesla Tulip Farm, with some beautiful dishes from the different wineries that are in the Yarra Valley Garden Pack. So we've got the lamb kofters, the spicy prawns, the salmon and dill fritters, and we've also got the zucchini fritters as well. And we've got amazing wine to enjoy. So I guess at this point, I just want to say thank you so much for tuning in. Obviously, this is just an example, and hopefully you've taken away just some hints and tips, whether it's one or all of them, that you can essentially take with you to hopefully make a meal out of your next dinner that you want to enjoy for either yourself or the people who you live with at this time. I think it's just such a nice way to do something for yourself and just make dinners a little bit more different than just, eating a bowl of pasta in front of the TV watching Netflix. So it's just a great way to have a bit of fun with it. And obviously, like I said, there are no hard and fast rules about this. It's really just about making something fun that really represents you, that you can enjoy with people. So on that note, thank you so much for joining me on a Sunday mid-morning, and I will see you guys later this afternoon at 4:30 p.m. So in a couple of hours, I'm going to be hosting the wine tasting session. So the wines that you see here, I'm going to go into a bit more detail around the tasting notes, what kind of food pairings, and what kind of wines you would have with the food. And join me again at Facebook on the Yarra Valley and Dandenong Rangers Facebook page right here, live at 4:30 p.m. Okay, thank you guys so much, and I will see you again very shortly.